crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Letting one go deep. And this is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point attempt here still to come. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Kamale Correa.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Winston steps away. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Jameis to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. The second down throw for Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Here we go, even. Follow.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. It's the fullback, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Point after here coming up. The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Now
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. He's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
Being chased out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Now, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gold. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ellington. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. 44, Mike.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Dancing to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. The Bucks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Hey, sub.
Winston. And it's caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
No problem there on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific, because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Not today. Not today.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. The Bucs on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A give to Jones. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Green, Triple C. Hey, 5 on the 50.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point up and through. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Lucky. Here we go now. Boom!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 41. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Now, boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey. Gun!
They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Falcons on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! 44's the mark. Gun!
They're going to look to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Out. 3 down. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Watch out.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
3 down. Set! Green 39!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And it'll be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half here, Winston. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Again, they run with Ellington. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Noah Spence in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. They're going to try and throw. And now here's another interception. Buda Baker with a pick. Good footwork at the 30. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Single receiver. Ready. Blue whitey. Over there. Single receiver.
On play action. Winston. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Jameis now on 1st down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones from 10 yards out. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is Hamilton, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Alert, alert. 3 down. Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's keep bringing it. Stay in there. Strong left. Strong left. Strong left.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, 27. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Oh, yeah. Hey, sub. Let's go. Sonic. Hey, sub. Let's go.
1st down, Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Hey, fellas.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Steps away to his left. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Falcons on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
4 down. Ready. Black 25.
Right back to him on 1st down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Wait.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down. Jameis now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, sub.
Here's Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
The give is to Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 4. Ready. Blue lady. Check. 45's the mic. Check. 45's the mic. Players up.
Again, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Green, triple C.
Play fake. Winston. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. And he gets it down to the 32. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that kind of catch is supposed to pay off with at least a first down, isn't it?
Instead, he'll just add it to his highlight reel, but they don't pick up the first.
Yeah, he gets the yardage, he gets the catch, but now they have a decision to make.
And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tight, double tight. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Set!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit. Break. Double tight, guys. Double tight. Hey. We got 3. 3 down. Set.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. On the move to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Let's go. Let's convert. Let's convert. Let's convert. Let's go. Let's convert. Let's convert.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Winston here to throw. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Ready. Flag. 22's hot. 4 down. 4 down. Green. Triple C. Let's go.
Off the play fake. Winston. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Looking to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Buccaneers, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts.